So this video is not clickbait. Hobbes has passed. I'm not really sure how to make this video. I don't think anyone plans to make a video like this when we're talking about, you know, the deaths of our animals, but it's gotta be said, so I don't know. I don't know what to talk about. Hobbes, it's been about 4 or 6 weeks, I believe. Hobbes went down for brumation. I believe it was before Christmas, if I'm remembering right. So he's been down for brumation for a few. And he's gone down for brumation. It's pretty much the same time. He actually went down for brumation later this year versus the other years he's been down. He usually goes down around late November, but this year he decided late December. I don't know if it's because the building was a little bit warmer, what was going on, but he decided to brumate a little bit later than what he usually does. It could also be from the mild winter we had going in to that November-December area. It was a little bit warmer than it has been through the past years. So he went down for brumation, no issues. You know, I've brumated Hobbes for multiple years now without any problems, but this time was different. While my Tegus are brumating, I do weekly little health checks. I pretty much just lift the log up or whatever they're hiding and I check them out, make sure they're good, everything's fine. Now, I guess the issue with that when it comes to that is, you know, a Tegu brumating and a Tegu who's passed look pretty similar. They're not moving, they're sitting there, and it's in a dimly lit enclosure. You want to keep it dark and a little bit on the cooler end so the brumation goes. So I'm not entirely sure when Hobbes passed, but 1 week when I went to go check, I noticed a smell coming in from the enclosure, so I thought it was like the water. Maybe the water was stagnant, so I changed the water, but when I opened it, it still smelled, and that's when I realized that Hobbes was the one making that smell, and that's when I knew that he passed on. From my understanding and what I can make an educated guess on is I believe the reason Hobbes passed was due to food impaction. Looking back, it did seem like he went from not brumating to brumating pretty fast. It was a pretty fast transition, and it's one of those things in the back of your head you don't really think too much about, but it's one of those things you really do need to think too much about, and that just error in my head of making that correlation that, hey, he kind of went down a little too fast, we should keep the lights on to make sure he's past all his food, that is a mistake. That is life and death, and it is it's a mistake that I made, and it's my fucking fault that Hobbes is gone, and it just fucking eats me alive, man. Fuck. This one hurts a lot. This was one of my favorite reptiles here at DBCB Exotics. He was my first ever Tegu, which for those of you that don't know, maybe you're new to the channel, Tegus were my dream reptiles. I waited 4 years from finding out what Tegus are into finally owning my own Tegu. And it was a dream come true. Hobbes was that dream come true. Now, obviously, Hobbes wasn't the friendliest Tegu, but, you know, a puppy dog tame or a vicious little monster that Hobbes was, you know, I loved him all the same. I wouldn't have it any other way, you know. I liked Hobbes' quirks. It made my life a little bit more interesting going into the Tegu enclosure. Damn, man. An awesome little guy. Hobbes was a cool dude. He was a very, very cool dude. He was the star of the channel. You know, people really enjoyed Hobbes. So as much as this pains me, you know, it's one of those things like I don't want to talk about it. You know, it's It's been so fucking hard going into the reptile building these days and just realizing that that's an empty enclosure and he's no longer there. There's muscle memory of me like, oh, I need to go plug that light in, but there's no need to plug that light in because he's no longer there. And so it's been a time. I've been just kind of repressing this. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to not realize that it's happened. And that makes making this video a lot more difficult. But Hobbes was a very big fan, you know. A lot of people loved Hobbes and loved watching Hobbes on the channel. So I owe it to you guys to talk about why he's gonna no longer be on the channel. Obviously, not everyone was a fan of Hobbes. Not everyone. Obviously, Hobbes had some size issues due to stuff that I've explained over and over. It was an early brumation. He brumated his first year at around 6 to 8 weeks old, and he brumated for 4 to 6 months. I've talked about this so many times, but people just, I don't know, either don't want to believe me or just don't listen. But I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories. There's a lot of, you know, theories of I'm neglecting Hobbes and all bullshit like that. You know, I'm not asking you to change your mind. I don't really give a shit what you think. The only thing I'm asking you is just look in your heart for a second, you know, realize that I am a person. I'm a person who just lost a very dear pet, and I'm asking you just to hold your tongue for this video. I really just don't want to read shitty comments on here, you know. Make it in another video, I don't care. Just, can you just hold off for one video? I guess that's it. One last thing before we wrap up this video, and it's just, as you guys know, I like being fully transparent and honest with you guys. If you guys watched the previous videos, you know there is a second giant lizard that we've yet to talk about, and that is a new Tegu, a new male. The thought process going into getting that Tegu was the fact that, you know, while I do love Hobbes, genetically he doesn't have the most desirable traits. So I wanted to get a male that would then be used in a breeding project, and then I would just keep Hobbes as a pet the way that I think it would be best in the scenarios. That is not happening anymore. But yeah, there is a second Tegu that I haven't even talked about now. Another thing that I needed to talk or think over, and after putting some thought into it, I think it's best that just out of respect for Hobbes, we're not going to be talking about that Tegu for a bit. I don't know when I'm going to talk about him. Quite honestly, I don't want to talk about Tegus right now. I don't even want to think. Obviously, the Tegus are being cared for. But as far as a creative concept for videos, whatever you want to call it, I just don't want to think about, you know, how to make a video on Tegus. It's painful. It fucking sucks. And I don't know when that'll change. I don't know when I'll be feeling good and having a different perspective on making Tegu content. But for now, it's we'll talk about the Tegu when we talk about the Tegu, but there are some things I gotta do first when it comes to grieving Hobbes, and I think that's gonna take precedent over anything else going forward. Yeah, that is all the things I wanted to talk about. He will be sorely missed. Yeah, I'm not too sure how to wrap this one up, guys, so I don't know. Thank you for watching. I know this is gonna hurt a lot of you guys too. It's just a shitty situation, but I don't know. I am not sure what to do. I might take a break from videos. I have a couple that I just need to edit and put through, so I don't know. maybe I'll post those and I'll feel a little better. But right now I'm not feeling good. Not feeling good at all. So that is the video. I don't know, I'm gonna end it.